A proposed zoning change has a number of Madisonians worried about midnight parties next door, but the city says it is a movement to increase equity.
Tahalia Mohideen took a look at the city proposal to change a decades-old zoning law and has more on why some have concerns.
That's right. It's all about how many people who aren't related can live in the same house as renters. In a third of the city, the max is only 2. In an effort to expand affordable and equitable housing, the proposed change would see that cap lifted. It's a proposal to change a zoning code that's been in place since the 60s.
There's issues of noise. There's trash.
Right now, over 1/3 of the city of Madison doesn't allow more than 2 unrelated renters to live together. But if you own the home that you live in those areas, that limit is 5. The proposal city leaders are considering would change the renting limit to 5 as well, in the name of equity.
We know a way a lot of low-income households try to afford to live somewhere that's expensive like Madison is by splitting the rent.
But people who live in the areas closest to campus, like Regent neighborhood resident Doug Raubel, have some reservations. He says while his community supports the city's goal, many aren't sure they're going about it the right way.
At best, it will not improve accessibility to housing in those areas, and at worst, it will actually make it more expensive.
Instead of low income or people of color, as the city intends, Raubel is worried the change will lead to an influx of students.
I don't want to have a beer party going on next door until midnight.
So he's asking the city to reconsider.
They seem to have some difficulty recognizing that the area around campus and the pressures put on them by student housing are real.
City leaders admit the zoning code was first created to serve that exact purpose, to keep students from taking over. But they're convinced enough has changed since 1966.
Thousands of new apartments being built, many of them student-oriented in our downtown area, and so we think a lot of the pressures that there used to be on adjacent neighborhoods are much less than they once were.
The zoning proposal is set to be heard by the Plan Commission mid-February and the Common Council at the end of that month for consideration.